Hello there, my sister friend, and welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with Keri. I have to be really honest with you. I was a little nervous. I am nervous to shoot this episode for you because I rarely talk about my marriage. But if you are in a place in your life where you are growing a business, you are in a committed relationship, and you have children, you know that it is not easy. And I'll tell you, like Michael and I don't fight. We don't fight. We, might of course get into little tiffs here and there, but a couple of weeks ago, we had a meltdown. And it was honestly exactly what we needed to reset. And I've been told, by so many of my friends, like, you're in the thick of it right now. You have a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old. We're both entrepreneurs. We're both trying to grow our businesses. And it can be a lot, right? It can be a lot. So I am not coming to you today as a marriage expert, but I am coming to you as a sister in entrepreneurship who understands the battle and the stretch that we have when it comes to our time, our energy. I mean, on top of all that, right? I can't even believe I'm going to be 49 this year. What? I can't even talk about that. Like, that's a whole nother Keeping It Real with Keri episode. But there's hormonal changes that I am going through on top of running a business, an expanding, growing business that requires a lot of me right now, 2 children that require a lot of me right now, and a husband who wants to spend time with me and wants intimacy and wants that close connection. So I want to share with you some of the things that when we pressed reset a couple weeks ago, what it is that we sat down and talked about. Like, it was getting to a place where, he's running his career, being an incredible musician and feeling maybe uncertain about, the climate and what's happening in his career. I'm experiencing massive growth and transformation within my team and my own company. And at the end of the day, we both work until about 5 o'clock. We do have help, but at 5 o'clock, we're making dinner. It's dinner time with the kids. I turn off my phone and I'm mom, so from 5 to 9, I am mom. I am playing full out with the kids. And come 9 o'clock, oh my goodness, like, it is club bed DJ pillow. I am exhausted. And when we finally have time to be intimate or to have those deeper, intimate conversations, my tank is on empty. And yet, Michael and I talk so much about if we're not close, if we're not connected, nothing in our life is. So it was a rough day. In fact, I was out to lunch, which I don't normally do. I was out to lunch with a new business friend, and I was in tears. And she was so sweet. She gave me such great space. But I'm coming to you today saying that breakdown was really needed because communication in any relationship is so important. And yet when you're in a committed relationship, when you're married or you're just, in partnership, you can put yourselves on the back burner because everything else needs you. And that's where we were. We were just kind of, crossing paths in the night. When we were trying to have a conversation, we'd be interrupted by the kids. So we're like, oh my gosh. And we've known about this. We've talked about this ad nauseum now for over a year, but we weren't doing anything to really make some changes. So these are the things that I'm doing. I hope this supports you more than anything. I think we need to have more of these conversations. Like, look, I don't always have it together. My life is not rainbows and lollipops. That, there's only so much bandwidth that each one of us has. And yet we're pulled 1,000,001 directions. Are you feeling me? Yes. So I want you to know, first of all, you are not alone. If you are feeling the stretch, I think we have to start with giving ourselves grace. And that's kind of the first thing Michael and I sat down and talked about is we had to recognize the season that we're in. And we are in a season of having young children, having growing careers, having high demands on our time, and really figuring out, what we need for our relationship, what we need to give to each other, because we're giving everything to everyone else. So first thing was recognize the season. You might be like my little sister, an empty nester, and that's a season. You might have teenagers, and that's the season. And I think it's so important as parents and even as entrepreneurs, our businesses have seasons, to understand the season we're in, to understand the cycle that we're in, and to give ourselves a little bit of grace and understanding, and really look at the situation from the season. So thank you to all my friends who told me, like, you're in the thick of it right now. It'll get better. And I know it will. And I'm so grateful for the life that I have. I want to be really clear. Like, I'm so grateful. And I'm juggling a lot, including, hormones that are out of whack. So back to recognizing the season. The second thing was blocking out time. And it's been one of the biggest pains I've had in my business and in my personal life, is carving out space for myself, space to dream and imagine, and space for my husband. And that isn't just a date night. We find that date nights, although they're great, it's a couple hours and you're thrown back into the ring again. And so we've decided every Monday from like 4 to 7, we're going to walk. We're going to go do something fun. We're going to take a dance class. We're going to just talk about the week and plan the week. We have not had that time ever. So, we're just running on the hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying? So like, you have to carve out time for anything that's important to you, whether it's video, meditation, spirituality, exercise, whatever you need. We can't wait until the space just appears. It won't appear. So blocking out the time every single week. And that's what Michael and I have decided, is we're going to carve out time every week where we can really have these conversations and not be interrupted. And then the third thing was have more fun. And I don't know about you, but I need to have more fun. I need to laugh more. And I love that my friend Allie Brown took up ice skating. I just love that. It inspired me so much. So looking at things that Michael and I can do, like going and taking a dance class, or picking up golf or pickleball, like everything that we do is usually so serious because it's about parenting our children or running our businesses. And that is not always fun, let me tell you right now. So how can we bring more fun into our relationship? And then the fourth thing was to really be transparent and honest with what we need. Men and women's needs are different. And I think it's really important that we don't shove our needs under the rug. And that creates all sorts of passive aggressive, right? Resentment. And so, sharing with Michael, like, I need the compliments. I need you to see me. I need you to recognize the heavy lift that I have on my plate. I need you to tell me I'm beautiful. And he's like, you're beautiful. I'm like, no, I need you to see me. I need you to tell me. And so going back to kind of those 5 love languages, if you haven't read that book, and he needs time. He needs quality, quality time and physical connection. So really understanding what your partner needs and how you can make that a priority in your day-to-day. It's not a special occasion. Like, this is a relationship that is special to me. And if we are not connected, nothing else is connected. So that was my takeaway from our huge meltdown a couple weeks ago. And I will tell you, it's been so awesome. The way we're showing up for each other, the time we're committed to spending, the conversations we're having, even just holding my hand when we wake up in the morning and starting our day with a hug and a kiss. It changes everything. But one of the things that I do that I'm not proud of is I assume that he knows my needs, and that's not fair. So we have to continue to voice them. So again, understand the season that you're in and give yourself some grace with wherever you're at in that season. Number 2 is to really block out the quality time, because it's not going to show up for you. Trust me, I've been trying. Third is to have more fun. Like, what can you do to lighten things up a little bit? And then 4th is to really communicate what you need in order to be closer and to feel that level of intimacy in the relationship. So I hope that helps you. It has certainly helped us, and it is an ongoing commitment. Like, marriage is hard. parenting is hard. Running a business is hard. And so I wish I had an easy button, but I just want to remind you that when you want something, you make time for it. You prioritize it. Okay? The grass grows where it's watered. And Michael and I were not watering our grass. So would love to hear from you. More than anything, again, I want you to know you're not alone. We're in this together. And I would love for you to share kind of where you're at. I'd love any advice or tips that you might have to share as well. And I hope you appreciate the vulnerability because it's something that I'm working on. And to me, that is inspired living, like to do what you love, but to realize that we're all on this journey together and we're all experiencing life together. So what season are you in? I'd love for you to share that with me. Thanks so much for being with me today on this Keeping It Real with Keri, and I look forward to seeing you next time.